Hello and welcome back to another episode of Helprr. Today we are diving into a topic that affects so many of us: burnout. With the fast pace of life, work, and everything in between, burnout has become a common experience. But here's the good news: burnout doesn't have to be the norm. In this episode, we'll break down the burnout cycle, share evidence based approaches to prevent and recover from it, and help you build a sustainable work life balance. Let's learn how to thrive, not just survive. First off, what is burnout? We hear this term quite a lot, but burnout is more than just feeling tired or stressed. Burnout happens when chronic stress leads to emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion. It's not just about being overwhelmed, it's about feeling detached, ineffective, and ultimately empty. Sounds familiar? Well, it sounds way too familiar to me. The World Health Organization actually classified burnout as an occupational phenomenon, which means it's very much tied to work. But let's be real, burnout can happen anywhere. Whether it's from managing a household, caring for others, or simply navigating the demands of modern life. So, the very first step in breaking the burnout cycle is recognizing the signs. Here are some very common indicators. First one is exhaustion, feeling drained no matter how much rest you get. Cynicism, a loss of joy or interest in things you once loved. Inefficacy, feeling unproductive or doubting your abilities. If you're experiencing any of these, it's important to pause and assess where this is coming from. Often, we push these feelings aside, hoping they'll resolve on their own, but burnout thrives on neglect. And sometimes we don't even put it aside, but we blame ourselves for not being productive enough, for feeling tired or being inefficient or unproductive. That just adds more to it. The very important step is that once you have once you know the signs, right? Let's try and look at what causes the burnout. While it's tempting to say too much work is the culprit, there's more to it than that. Burnout stems from a combination of chronic stress, lack of control, and unrealistic expectations, both external and internal. Think about it. If you're constantly striving to meet impossible standards, or you feel like you have no control over your workload, you are setting yourself up for burnout. It's not about working long hours, it's about working without feeling a sense of purpose, autonomy, or accomplishment. That's where the real damage happens. Okay, so how do we stop burnout in its tracks? Luckily, there are strategies and evidence based strategies that not only help prevent burnout but also aid in recovery. Let's break them down. So, setting boundaries and sticking to them, right? One of the biggest drivers of burnout is the lack of boundaries, especially in a culture that glorifies hustle. Start small. If you're working from home, create a set time to clock out and resist the urge to check emails after hours. Research shows that setting clear boundaries between work and personal life is key to maintaining mental wellness. And in today's work environment, that line is diminishing, or sometimes it may not even exist. So it really comes down to you to set those boundaries and respecting them. Prioritize self care beyond just bubble baths, by the way. I know you have heard self care a million times, but it's more than just treating yourself. Self care means actively engaging in practices that restore your energy and mental clarity. It could be as simple as taking a daily walk, meditating, or scheduling regular breaks throughout your workday. According to a study from the American Psychological Association, regular self care activities can reduce the risk of burnout by as much as 50%. Another one, would be reclaiming your autonomy. When we feel like we have no control over our work, burnout intensifies. Take back some autonomy by identifying areas where you can make choices. Can you delegate tasks? Can you say no to additional responsibilities that overload your schedule? Small shifts can make a big difference. The next one would be fostering connection and community. Burnout often leads to isolation, and that's when things can spiral. Reaching out to your support network is crucial. And if you're looking for a community of people who get it, Helper.ai is a great resource. It offers peer mentorship, curated action plans, and challenges designed to help you stay on track with your emotional wellness. Sometimes knowing you're not alone can be the biggest burnout breaker. Okay, so what happens if you're already deep in the burnout cycle? The recovery process takes time, but it's absolutely possible. Start by acknowledging your limits, asking for help when needed, and giving yourself permission to rest. Building a sustainable work life balance is not about perfection, it's about consistency and self awareness. A key takeaway here is that balance is fluid. What works for you today might not work next month, and that's okay. Be flexible and gentle with yourself as you adjust to your evolving needs. I want to leave you with one final thought. Thriving is about more than productivity, it's about living in alignment with your values, finding joy in your work and relationships, and caring for your mental and physical health. At Helper, we understand the importance of both ambition and mental wellness. If you're feeling like burnout is creeping in, take the first step by exploring our curated content and peer support options designed to help you thrive, not just survive. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need it. Remember, your well being matters just as much as your work, and finding balance is key to long term success. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.